Right, so we're on the home page now. So we've completed the login and register page. What we want to focus on next is the header here. So this header is responsive. So when we shrink it down, it goes to this mobile menu over here, and we want to create this sidebar as well here. So let's go ahead and implement that. Once we've done that, then we'll add the light dark mode functionality after as well. So if we close this down and go into our app, and in our pages section here on the home, we want to go into here. First of all, we want to import the page layout. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we want to create a header component. So let's add the header component. And we need to create that now. So let's create the header component. So in components, I'm going to create a new folder called header. And in here, I'm going to have various different files. So we're going to split it out into a few files. So we'll have the desktop header and then the mobile header. But first of all, I just want to create the normal header. So index.tsx, refce, and this is the header component itself. And this is going to have some state in it as well. So let's just, first of all, add the React functional component in here, because we will be passing in some props when we have the dark mode theme. So first of all, we have a div. We want to change that into the header. And then inside the header, we're going to have the desktop header and then the mobile header as well. So let's first of all do the desktop header. And this is going to be a component in itself. So let's do that. And we'll close it off for now. And we also want to do the mobile header. And again, this is going to be a component in itself. But what we're going to do is just comment that out now. So dependent on the state, it's going to render the relevant component. So let's comment this one out for now. And what I'm going to add is a piece of state here. So this state is for the mobile menu is open, or menu open, like that, and then set mobile menu open. And in this project, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using hero icons as well to get some icons from, and also importing headless UI as well. So first of all, what we need to do is pass these states into these components over here as props. So let's go ahead and do that. So in desktop header, the only prop being passed is the set mobile open prop. So essentially, this is where we will set it from a desktop to a mobile, and then this will render only if the mobile menu open is true. So let's create this desktop header component now. So in header, create a new file, and we just want to do refce. So if we look at the final header for the desktop, you can see here we have 3 sections. So first section is the logo. We have the pages being rendered in the middle, and then the right hand side here. So let's do the 3 sections. So first of all, this is going to be a nav, and then the 3 sections. So we could create 3 separate components in here. So logo, then we have the pages or the links or whatever you want to call it, and then the login section, like so. So the logo is quite a simple one. So what I'm just going to do is bring in the logo styles in here, which essentially is a div. It has a class name of flex, and then on the large one, we want to do a flex of 1 on large screens and above. We want to link it to the home page, because when we click the logo icon, then it should go to the home page. And then we just need to import the logo here, but essentially the height of the logo is a height of 10. So let's import the logo from the assets. So now save. And in our app, we now need to pass in the header component onto our home page. So on our home page, we need to import this in and now save. So now we need to fix the errors in our header components, which is essentially importing this in. And then we also need to receive this prop. So let's copy this. That's the type. And let's declare the types in our types file. So we have all of the types for the headers in here. So export type for the header props, or should I call it the desktop header props. And this is the only type it's receiving, which is the set mobile menu open. So let's go in here and accept this as a prop. Now we need to do react.fc and receive the prop that we have created here, or the type of prop in here. So paste that in there and import it in. So that's the error. And the handy thing with TypeScript is it shows you what files have errors in them. So we're not using that for now. So let's just ignore it. And then this one we can just ignore as well. So let's save and see if it's being rendered onto the page. So now you can see the header is getting rendered onto the page, which is fine. So now we need to implement the middle section, and then we need to style the nav itself. So let's go ahead and style the nav itself. So I'm going to give this a class name, and this is going to be a display of flex. So flex items are going to be center. So align items of center. So that is on the horizontal axis. Justify content of space between. So justify between. We're going to have a padding of 6. And then on large screens, I'm going to give it a padding of 8. So it has a bit of a bigger padding. And then we're going to give this an area label of global, like so. And then we just get rid of this one. So now save. So now we have our 3 sections in here. What I want to do is, first of all, check, and you can see that's working correctly. And to verify that, we'll give this a background for now of red 600. Just to show you that that is the header being rendered onto the page. So because we've done justify space between, what we now want to do is add the menu icon next. So essentially, this icon next after the logo. The reason for this is because Tailwind uses the styling from the smallest devices going up. So if we code from the smallest device going up, then we need to have this second, and then this third, and then this fourth. And what we would do essentially is the state that we are passing in as a prop is for this menu here to show the mobile menu being open or not. The way we would hide this is on larger screens, we would then do a display of hidden. And then that way, that shows these two here. And then obviously on smaller screens, we would do a display of hidden for these 2 icons or these 2 containers here. So let's go ahead and implement this menu icon over here. So if we go into our code now, what I'm going to do is create a new div. So in here, we would need to create a new div, but what I'm going to do is create a new component. This component is going to be called the menu icon, like so. So let's go ahead and create this component. So new file, menu icon.tsx, refce. So now this menu icon, to ensure what I've just explained is correct and make sure that this is hidden on a large screen and above, all we do is give it a class name. And first of all, this is display of flex. And then using the media queries, we just want to do LG. And on large screens, it's going to be hidden. So that's all you need to do. And then now what we need to do is create this. So what we would do here is create a button, because that's what it is. And inside the button, I'm just going to have the bars 3 icon, and we need to import this from the library of hero icons. So let's go ahead and do that. But essentially, this icon is going to have a height of 6 and a width of 6, and this is going to be area hidden of true. So let me just first of all install the hero icon. So yarn, and I believe it's hero icon /react. So let's add that in. So that's going to install. So now all we need to do is import this in from hero icons. Now you can see it's there. So if I save that, and now what I want to do is style the class for the button, and the button class name, I'm going to give it a minus margin. So the way you would do a normal margin is m dash and then 2.5. So that's how you would do a normal margin of 0.625 rem, but I want it to be minus. So all you do here is give it a minus, and then you can see here now it's changed to minus 10 pixels in there. I'm going to give it an inline of flex, which is display inline flex. Items of center, justify center. So this is align item center and justify content as center, rounded of MD, which is for the button, and then a padding of 2.5 all around, and finally a text of gray of 700. So this makes the icon gray. And for accessibility, what I also want to show you is if we create a span here, and this is for screen readers, so it will be open main menu. So now if I quickly render the menu icon in the desktop header and show you what it will display. So now let's save all, and then I want to do yarn dev. And if we go into our app over here, it's just going to quickly refresh, and let's make so as you can see now, it's showing the large screen, but when we scroll down, you can see here now the icon is showing, and we also have the open main menu. So essentially we want to make the site accessible, but we also don't want to show this. So when the screen readers read this icon here, we want it to say open main menu. So all we need to do for this class name over here is give it a class name first of all, and this is the class name screen reader only. Now if I hover over it, this is the class it shows. So essentially it's hidden, but it applies to the screen reader. So now if I save this, it's hidden there, but it's applied the style, so it is there. So if we go into our code here, and we need to see this span over here, which has the class of screen reader only, which again applies the styles over here. So all we want to do now is when we click this, we want to set mobile menu open to true. So essentially this sidebar over here. So the way we would do that is we would just pass in the props down into the menu icon. So let's go ahead and do that. So all we need to do is react.fc, and we need to create the prop. So first of all, we have this here. So in our desktop header, we go further into it, and then in our menu icon, we want to pass it in. So this is prop drilling, which again has its pros and cons, but because we're not using global state management in this app, we're just going to have to deal with it. So we're passing in set mobile menu open in here, and then when we click on the menu icon, so let's destructure it from here. So now on the button, I want to add the on click of set mobile menu to true, like so, and then we need to create the menu icon props. So again, it's in here. So export type of menu icon props is equal to this over here. Or alternatively, what you could do is change this to an interface and then extend it from here. But what I'm going to do is just keep it separate like this. And then all I need to do now is import this in like so. So now let me save all of this. So that is the menu icon set. So if we go into here, we have the desktop header being rendered. We need to finish it off now. So we need the pages section and then also the login section. So what I now want to do is have a new file in here called helper.ts, and in helper.ts I essentially have my navigation links. So these are the links, and now I need to create the navigation type. So essentially the navigation type I'm going to move into the types folder. So export type of navigation type like so, and I'm just going to paste in the navigation type, which is a name of string, a href of string, and an ID of number. So now I can go into helper and import this in like so, and then for my pages I'm just going to paste in what I have. So a div with the class name of hidden, but on the large screens it will be shown. So essentially it's hidden on small and medium screens, and then on the large screen it's flex, and then on a large screen once again it has a gap on the x-axis of 3 rem. So all we're doing is we're getting the navigation from the helper, we're mapping through it for each item of navigation type. We're just rendering an A tag which has the following styles in here. So quite simple. We are using that there. So now if we go into our app over here, So on the small screens and the medium screens is the icon over here. And then on the large screens, we have our links being shown. So there's one more section left on the header, which is the login UI over here. All I'm going to do is have a div. So let's create a div. And this div is going to have a class name. It's going to be hidden once again from the small and medium screens. And then on the large screen, it's going to be flex. And then again, on the large screen, it's going to have flex of 1, so take up all the space you need. And then again, on the large screen, it's going to be justify end, so move everything to the end of the page. So justify end, like so. So all I now need to do is have the link to the login page in here. So let's go ahead and implement that, like so. So this has the relevant class names. And now what I want to do is add the toggle component here, which would render the light dark mode theme, but I'll leave that for now. So let me just put that in there for now. And if we go back in here, we've done the desktop menu, but we now need to do the mobile, which essentially is this menu here, and we'll do that next.